When I first stepped into the towering glass building of Clybourne Enterprises, I was nervous yet determined. I had worked tirelessly to craft an impeccable resume and rehearsed my interview answers countless times. The opportunity to work under the formidable Mr. Alistair Wainwright, a man revered for his shrewd business acumen, was a dream come true. It was during my 3rd week on the job when our first real interaction occurred. I was in the conference room late in the evening, perfecting a presentation for a major client. The building was quiet, the hum of the air conditioning the only sound. Suddenly, Mr. Wainwright appeared in the doorway, his tailored suit immaculate as always. He asked what I was working on, and I nervously explained my strategy. To my surprise, he sat down, listened intently, and offered valuable insights. It was a moment of mentorship I hadn't anticipated. Over the next few months, our interactions grew frequent. Alistair, as he insisted I call him during our private conversations, began seeking me out for special projects. His praise was intoxicating, filling a void I hadn't realized I had. One evening, as I handed him a report in his office, he lingered close. The air grew heavy with unspoken tension. When he kissed me, I didn't resist. It wasn't planned, and yet it felt inevitable. Over the next several weeks, our encounters became a clandestine routine. His private office, with its floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the city, became our secret world. The physicality of our relationship was consensual and electric, but it wasn't devoid of emotions. Alistair spoke of his admiration for my ambition and confessed his struggles balancing his powerful persona with his personal life. I'd never felt more seen. The office buzzed with whispers long before I realized the extent of it. It started with lingering glances and hushed conversations that abruptly ended whenever I entered the room. My promotion to senior strategist only fanned the flames. "She's sleeping her way to the top," I overheard one afternoon in the break room. I'd never felt so humiliated. I maintained my composure, determined not to let the rumors derail me. Publicly, I acted unbothered, focusing on delivering results that silenced any doubts about my competence. But privately, the judgment stung. The perception of being a saint, as some sarcastically called me, was something I clung to despite the knowledge that my relationship with Alistair gave them ammunition. The tension reached its breaking point during a heated disagreement with Vivian Marlowe, a sharp-tongued colleague who'd always been wary of me. It began as a debate over client strategy but quickly turned personal. "Maybe you should stick to what you're good at, charming the boss," she snapped, her voice dripping with venom. The room fell silent as her words hung in the air. I felt my cheeks flush, but I refused to let her see me crumble. "My work speaks for itself," I replied evenly, locking eyes with her. The tension was palpable, and though I walked away with my head held high, the incident left a mark. As my career advanced, so did the whispers. When I was shortlisted for a significant promotion, the office erupted with gossip. Petitions circulated anonymously, accusing me of leveraging my relationship with Alistair to climb the corporate ladder. "She doesn't deserve it," I heard someone say one morning. "We all know why she's being considered." The weight of the accusations became unbearable. During a private meeting, Alistair tried to reassure me. "You've earned this, and I'll make sure they see that," he said. But his words, though kind, did little to ease my turmoil. The distrust and animosity from my colleagues made it clear staying at the head office was no longer sustainable. The decision was made I would transfer to a different branch in another city. The official reason was to oversee a new project, but we both knew it was to escape the toxic environment. On my last day, I packed my belongings in silence, avoiding eye contact with colleagues who barely hid their smug satisfaction. I attempted to sever ties with Alistair, explaining that I needed a fresh start to focus on my career. "This isn't about you," I told him. "I need to prove to myself that I can do this on my own." He was persistent, sending messages and occasionally visiting the new branch under the guise of work. But I remained resolute. My priority was rebuilding my professional reputation. At the new branch, I immersed myself in work, determined to let my performance speak louder than the rumors that had followed me. It wasn't easy. Trust was hard to rebuild, and the shadow of my past lingered. Alistair's attempts to rekindle our relationship eventually faded, and with time I found solace in my independence. The experience taught me resilience. I'd made mistakes, but I refused to let them define me. In the end, I learned that the most important validation comes from within, not from others.